Well, they are floating around. I've seen some of those.
Yep. Do you understand that? Do you understand that this is a problem? That you have absolutely no fucking idea what's going on in my country,
Do
what's going on in my. Let me finish, please. And then you can go. You talk as long as you
Sure,
want. You don't know what's
sure.
happened in my country. You don't know what's happened with my government. You don't know any of the things that Donald Trump has been involved in. But I bet if I go through your Twitter, I can find 50 million videos of Joe Biden with his stupid fucking open mouth or slurring some word. Do you think that's an issue?
Well, I think the president being fit is an issue. Yeah, for sure. He
What
needs
about
to
being
be.
an insurrectionist?
I don't believe he's an insurrectionist.
Oh, what did I just lay out then that either doesn't qualify for insurrection or isn't true from what I just said? Or if you want, you can admit that you have no idea what I'm talking about and you need to go back to the drawing board before even beginning to have an opinion on this topic.
Well, I can have an opinion because free speech exists, so I can say what I want to say.
First of
You don't.
all, no. Number one, no. You're a Canadian. You have no guarantee of free speech. Number two, that's obviously not what I meant. You obviously are entitled to an opinion. I'm saying that was a shorthand for to have a well-formed opinion that merits consideration. Right? If you're not
Well,
even
I
aware of any of the major
okay.
events happening in this country, I don't know how you can have a strong opinion on whether or not Donald Trump is an insurrectionist or not.
Well, I see what the media says about the current events, and I see the media pushing and saying things like, to serve his country, President Biden should drone strike Donald Trump. And to me, that seems like not very appropriate thing to say for as an advice for the current sitting president. And that doesn't seem like a strong uphold of democracy or decency, as they would say, because they said decency was on the ballot.
If Rachel Maddow told you that walking on sidewalks was dangerous, would you walk in the street?
No.
Then why are you citing me something that the media said and then giving me your 4 year? Do you have children? Do you react to everything like a child? If the media says something you don't like it, do you just take the opposite position without giving a single original thought yourself into what you're actually being told? Or is your entire ideology defined by reactionism?
No, I'm not ideologically possessed. I agree with certain things that sometimes the liberals say, and I can disagree with certain things that conservatives do.
Okay,
It's not
that's fine.
like, yeah, it's not like I watch, state Canadian media and take the opposite stance of everything they say because twice a day a broken clock is right. So it's
Cool.
not an issue
Okay,
for me.
so then let's. I think we can. Going back to the insurrection thing. Uh, if every part of what I laid out was true, if Donald Trump slated false electors in states, had that sent to Congress, and knowingly gathered a crowd of 50,000 whatever people, and then sent them to the Capitol building in the hopes that they would protest to pressure the fake electors being chosen, do you think any of that qualifies as an insurrection?
Would I have to be an expert in insurrection law to state that one way or another?
But you don't have
Uh,
to be an expert in insurrection law to say confidently that it wasn't.
well, perhaps you're right about that, but like I said, I refer to his actual words that he put out on social media and on video saying that he's requesting for peace.
You
And
understand that that came after he was begged for hours while he and his crony, corrupt fuck Giuliani made phone calls to sitting congressmen inside of the locked down building, right? That he was calling them, pressuring them to delay the certification of the vote. It was hours after that that he finally went on Twitter when the insurrection had failed and said, okay, guys, we need to go home.
well, like I said, I wasn't following it 24/7,
And
maybe
why do you have
like,
an opinion on it?
well,
You
because
weren't following 24/7. You were following it 0-0. You have no idea what happened on any of this. Why do you think you should have an opinion on any of this?
well, I told you I can have an opinion if I want.
You can,
And
but then people should like make fun of you and like bully the fuck out of you for it, right? You've literally no idea about any of this. It wasn't that what our original tweet was over? Is that I think I called you didn't I call you a hack fuck? It seems like I was correct, right? You have absolutely no idea
well,
about
you don't.
literally any of these issues.
Yes, okay. Maybe I haven't followed the case as closely as you have, but
Hold
I,
on, not closely. You don't even have any idea. You have no concept. You don't know anything about what I'm talking. You don't even know what an electoral vote is, do you?
of course I do. Of course I do. It's what the United States has for their electoral process. We have a similar process here in Canada. It's not majority vote. It's not democracy. It's a constitutional republic.
Okay, if you know what an electoral vote is, do you think it's acceptable for people to try to fake them like Donald Trump did in 7 different states?
Well, like I said, what is the evidence that he faked those? What is your evidence for that?
What would you want to see? What if I could show you hypothetically?
Stuffing ballots and bringing out bags and security footage from places where people are voting, and they were putting up tarps over the windows, and
Are
they
you
were.
aware? Are you aware that every single one of those was investigated, and that every single one of those was heard before a court, and that every single one of these, except for one, was shot down? A lot of them by conservative judges that Trump himself, or at least his administration, appointed.
Well, like I said, I wasn't following this case 24/7, so no, I wasn't following the procedures that came out of that.
Okay, but you've seen pictures of it, right? Are you embarrassed or ashamed that you've had like strong opinions about this because of pictures that you've seen, because of dipshits like Elon Musk feeding you lies on Twitter?
Dustin, you don't have to be that rude. I'm being really respectful. I'm not
Hold on.
sure
No, no,
why
no,
you're
no. Wait,
let.
wait. Hold on. I need you to understand something so much. Okay. You're not being respectful. You're actually fucking evil. Okay. This idea that you
I don't
can
believe
walk
I'm
around
evil.
and as long as that's great. I don't care. The idea that you can walk around and as long as you say the worst type of shit imaginable in a nice enough voice, that you should be treated with respect is absurd. Right? In no other function in life would anybody ever be treated that way. You have no concept of anything related to the insurrection. You have no concept of what's even happened aside from what you've seen, I guess, on Twitter and the media. But you're out here tweeting along with every other insurrectionist supporting fuckhead in my country about how Donald Trump is treated unfairly in the media, and Joe Biden isn't fit to be president. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about for any of this, though.
Hey, do you think it's okay for Joe Biden voters to, make like a life-sized version of Trump and like put a fake guillotine over him, or to hold up bloody severed heads of him and things like that? Do you think that contributes to anything that's happening in the States?
Nope. I think that to the first question, I would say no, that's not acceptable. Were Democrats or protesters doing that outside of the Capitol building, except instead of a guillotine of Trump, were they talking about Mike Pence? And were they doing that because the president of the United States said that they needed to pressure Mike Pence? And that when Mike Pence wasn't accepting the pressure, he tweeted out that Pence has failed us? Did that happen? Do you remember any of that? Or is that another thing that's conveniently mind wiped
I
from your
saw that
brain?
tweet. So I saw that. You don't have to insult me. Like there's no need for that. I saw that tweet, and I saw some people calling for Mike Pence for whatever they were calling for him. I
To be
don't
clear, hold
think
on, just to
that.
be clear, they were calling for his assassination because he wasn't willing to finish the insurrection, to finish the coup that Donald Trump and Eastman had set up
Okay,
for him. Just to
well,
be clear, yeah,
I don't believe that a few crazies represent the majority.
they do.
So,
But they
and
do.
no,
Why would you
I
say
don't
that? The
think
president
so.
called them there in a speech. He gave them exactly the words that they needed. He said that Mike Pence is the one who needs to toss basically the election for us. He's the only one that we can rely on. He told them that we need to make sure that our electorate slates are counted. And then he sent them to the Capitol building to pressure the, I guess, the people there to do whatever it is that they were supposed to do, which was to steal the
But
election.
did he tell them to call for his assassination? Did he incite them to do that? Is that what you're saying? Like
Did he incite them?
he
Yes,
didn't
he
say
laid out
those
every single.
words.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, ma'am. So he needs to say the exact words. You need to go assassinate someone for him to be culpable. In that case, you would agree then that there is not a single Democrat in leadership that you would hold responsible for any amount of violence, right? Unless, are you going to show me? Are you going to show me some kind of tweet or video of a Democrat saying we need to kill conservatives? Have you seen a single one of those?
I've seen some crazy statements coming from Democrats that
I didn't ask for
either.
crazy statements. I didn't ask. I asked, were there explicit calls for violence where they said we need to go kill conservatives?
Okay, so like I don't have a photographic memory. I believe I've seen similar things, maybe not by elected Democrats, but Democrat voters
Oh, wait,
saying that they
excuse
need
me.
to.
Democrat voters? What does that have to do with anything? I was talking about the president of the United States. And now you're going to appeal to an average everyday citizen like they have the same level of moral responsibility
Okay,
or political culpability?
but Trump did not call for his followers to go and do something insanely violent.
Yes,
That's
he
what I'm
did. He
saying.
called for them to go march to the Capitol grounds and to protest the certification of the vote in the United States of America to prevent the peaceful transfer of power, which is what they did for
A,
some
a,
number of hours.
a protest is a legal proceeding. You can protest peacefully, unlike.
Did they protest peacefully?
I believe they did. I
Really? How did
believe
the ones
I
get inside
saw
the
a
building?
guy. I watched a guy saying we need to go into the Capitol, and people were around him saying, no, we do not need to do that. There was law enforcement nearby. They were saying, this is what these crazies are saying. You need to do something. Why aren't you do something?